good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever it is wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of Sunday Morning Sit-Downs. In today's video, I will be discussing the best way to buy in-home media that includes Scooby-Doo Where Are You Seasons 1, 2, and 3. But before we get into the video, if you do enjoy my content and do enjoy this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm understand that you guys enjoy the content that I'm making, and the algorithm exposes it to a broader audience. And if you enjoy Scooby-Doo or classic cartoons, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button for new videos every morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. And of course, if you have any comments, suggestions, or even any criticism, don't forget to leave a comment down below, because I will be replying to every single one of them. And yeah, with that said, let's get into the video. So, before we begin with the actual guide, I'm going to give a brief background information about Warner Home Videos, which are the people who distribute the Scooby, or not the people, the company who distributes like Scooby-Doo media and allows and kind of gets all the copyright things and whatever, just so that they can release Scooby-Doo cartoons. So anyway, the first form of in-home media, which includes DVDs, VHS, and Blu-ray. That's just the definition of in-home media. But the first form of it was released in 2000, and it was more than likely it was released in VHS form. Actually, I'm almost positive it was in VHS form. And the first actual DVD, I guess, was released on the 4th of July, 2002. So, and since then, they've slowly been releasing every episode from Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1, 2, and 3. And in 2010, the final episodes were released, and they are currently all available for purchase. So there's a little brief background about kind of how it happened. I guess it was all through like the 2000s, and then by 2010, they had it all available for purchase for anyone. So anyway, we're going to start chronologically. We'll start with we'll start with season 1, and then we will work our way chronologically. So we'll go season 1, then we'll go season 2, and then we'll go season 3. And also, this does not involve any reviews. This was just a simple listing. Maybe down the road I will do a review and kind of say which which collections I guess I would recommend to the average person. But just for now, this is just going to be primarily a listing. And then also, I think this should go without saying, but I'm not sponsored to say any of these things. Like, obviously, I have like 200 subscribers, so I was not paid to say any of these things. And yeah, so first we're going to start off with season 1, and we will start out with the probably VHS titled Original Mysteries, which was first released in 2000, and included episode 1 through 5 of Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1. So these episodes are titled, and this is in order: What a Night for a Night, Hassle in the Castle, A Clue for Scooby-Doo, Mind Your Own Business, and Decoy for a Dognapper. So that was the first form of in-home media, and obviously it was in the form of VHS. So next we have Spookiest Tales, which came out in August of 2001. I currently do own this. I own it on the DVD version, of course, but I do own this, and I've watched it multiple times. So I know this pretty well, and obviously this was the first collection that I watched that had the Scooby-Doo Where Are You episodes on it. So it kind of got me hooked on Scooby-Doo, I guess. So anyway, this release included episodes 11, 13, and 17 of Scooby-Doo Where Are You Season 1, and these episodes are titled A Gaggle of Galloping Ghost, Which is Which, and That's Snow Ghost. And it is likely, as I said before, that this was first released on VHS, considering the fact that it was 2001 still. Alright, moving on, after that we have The Creepiest Capers, and this was the first collection to be released on DVD, and obviously, as I said in kind of the introduction, this was first released on July 4th of 2002. This collection contains Hassle in the Castle, Go Away Ghost Ship, and A Night of Fright is No Delight, and these episodes in order are 2, 15, and 16. Next, we move to 2004, which was when, quote, Greatest Mysteries, end quote, was released, and this collection included Episode 2, Hassle in the Castle, Episode 3, A Clue for Scooby-Doo, and Episode 9, The Backstage Rage. Moving on, we have, let me look here, we have a collection that I both own and have viewed before, and that is called The Complete First and Second Seasons, which was released initially in March of 2004, but was re-released in May of 2017. I actually do own the initial release, the 04 one, which actually I had that down on my script wrong. On my script, I had that I own the May of 2017 script, or collection, but there's no way that that's possible, considering the fact that I bought this in late 2015. So I had an error there. And then, obviously, this collection contains every episode from Season 1 and Season 2. So, moving on to the next page, I actually did do scripts again, and it was a full 2 pages, so this should be quite a beast video. Anyway, moving on, we have a series of 4 volumes that were released throughout 2009 and 2010. I do own all 4 of the volumes. I believe, if I can recall correctly, they all came together. You don't buy them separately. You just bought, basically, it has every episode from Scooby-Doo where you use Season 1, but it's broken down into 4 different discs, which are in 4 different DVD housings. So that's a little bit strange, and then another thing about it that's pretty strange is that, I'm not sure if this was an accident or not, but the last episode of Season 1, titled That Snow Ghost, was not released on any of the volumes. They just totally left that one out. Like, the last volume ends with A Night of Fright is No Delight. I think that's episode 16. So I don't know if that was intentional or if they just didn't want to make an entirely different disc just for one episode. But anyway, that's something that I actually just noticed when I was filming last week's, I think it was Sunday morning sit-downs. I might have pointed that out in the video. I can't remember if I have that in or if I cut that out. But anyway, so obviously this is a four disc series that is in chronological order. Chronological order, starting with Volume 1. So obviously on Volume 1 you have the first 4, Volume 2 the second 4, and so on. Lastly, for Season 1 is the complete series, which features every episode of Season 1, and this was first issued in November of 2010 and was reissued in November of 2012. So there's that there, and now we will start on Series 2, which has, don't worry, a much shorter list, because obviously that was quite the beast of a list, but Season 2's is much shorter, and actually as we move on, Season 3 is actually even shorter than that. So anyway, kicking it off, we will start with Creepiest Capers, which is a product of July of 2002. This collection has already been discussed in Season 1, so I'm not going to discuss that again, but it contains Episode 5 of the second season, which is titled Haunted House Hang-Up. Secondly, we have another collection that was discussed in Season 1. Actually, I think the last one, which is the third one, was also discussed in Season 1. But anyway, back to the second one. We have one that's, the second one that includes an episode from Scooby-Doo where you Season 2 is titled Greatest Mysteries, and this was a product of 2004. Initially, of course, it was available after that, obviously, but it first came out in 2004. So anyway, and this collection contains Episode 3, which is titled Jeepers, It's the Creeper. And lastly, we have the complete series, which has, once again, already been talked about. I already mentioned that. And it contains the entirety of Season 2. So, actually, before I even go on to Season 3, I'm going to explain that. They have one for Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3, but they're all titled the same. They're all titled The Complete Series, and they were all released in November of 10, and then they were all re-released in November of 2012. So, moving on to Season 3, we have, once again, a much shorter list. There are only 2 collections that contain episodes from Season 3, as opposed to there were 3 for Season 2, and I don't know how many for Season 1, quite a few, probably 8 or so. So anyway, first we have the complete third season, which was first released in April of 2007, and obviously, as the name implies, it contains every episode of Season 3, and this collection, I believe, was re-released sometime, but I don't have it down. I don't know why. I must have forgotten to write it down, but I believe it was released in 2017, but I personally own the 2007 release once again, just due to the fact that I bought this in 2016, so there's no way I could have bought the 17 release a year before it came out. And lastly, we have, lastly for Season 3, and lastly for the video, we have a name that we've obviously seen twice before. I already talked about this, but we have the quote complete series, end quote, which one last time was released in November 2010 and was reissued in November 2012, which includes every episode from Season 3, and then they have one for Season 2 and Season 1. I said this. So that's my Scooby-Doo Where Are You Buying guide. As I said before, I may go into more detail about which DVD or Blu-ray that I personally would buy. But for now, that's all I'm going to say about that for now. So anyway, thank you to everyone who stuck until the end. Once again, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, don't forget to leave them in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the like button. It greatly helps out my channel in terms of the YouTube algorithm. And lastly, if you enjoy Scooby-Doo or classic cartoons, don't forget to subscribe for new videos every morning at 7 a.m. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for sticking with me and hanging with me on this Sunday morning. I believe, I don't know what day it is for you guys, obviously, because it can be any day there. But anyway, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thank you guys for watching.